Hi, this is Daryl with Carte Blanche Media here, and today I have as my guest Dee Boone of Boone Consulting. Dee, thank you so much for being with me here today. Really appreciate it.
Oh, I'm delighted to be here, Daryl. Thank you so much for inviting me.
No problem. And my first question for you is go ahead and tell me a little bit more about yourself, if you could.
Oh, sure. Well, as you have said, my name is Dee Boone. I am the founder of Boone Consulting and coaching. So it's consulting and coaching. And I started my role as an entrepreneur. I faced a common challenge that many people face. Working in corporate America, hoping for long-term employment and lasting career success didn't happen. It just, that just yanked it right out the window. And then one day, the tables were turned, and I realized that I had the skills and the passion to help other people thrive and succeed, because that's what I did in corporate America. Was really, people came into my office and said, I got a problem, Dee, can you help me out? That kind of thing. And so with my background being in IT and training and development, I was always creating workshops and training programs for people to be more successful. The model that the company I worked for, it was an IT firm, their goal was to take people from senior executives from corporate firms and bring them into a consulting firm. And then, but the problem was the technology that the company was using was everything was customized. And they needed a trainer to explain how to use these tools, because you just couldn't go to it and just figure it out. It just was not user-friendly at all. So my role was to talk to the tech department and understand what their bells and whistles were, what their intent was, and then translate that to the business units, to the analysts. And they're trying to Dee, if I hit this button, will it work? That's all I want to know. I don't care about what it's doing in the background. And so that's really, it's the same thing now as a business consultant. People is like, Dee, if I do this social media thing, will it work? Will it give me clients? Will it expose my business to the world? What will it do for me? And so that's my role, is to continue help people understand how to use social media and the internet for their benefit, for their good. And that's my passion, and that's my purpose there.
Awesome. And you kind of already went into a little bit about your business, maybe kind of a slightly different question there. Like you kind of talked a little bit about the challenges, but what has kind of been your biggest success then since you started that? And like how do you answer that question? Will this work? There would be another follow-up question.
You know what? One of my biggest successes has been working with a business owner that was, I hate to say this, a jack of all trades. And he was a book author, inventor of Christian games. He was a hairdresser, a referee, and Uber driver.
Master of master of none, like jack of all trades, master of none for sure. Yeah.
And so the challenge was for him, he wanted to sell more books, and he was fantastic at selling books in person. He was a tall, handsome guy. So, he's coming at you with this book and it's looking all handsome, and you're going yeah, I'll buy that book. Sure. How much? $10? Sure, no problem. But the problem was that book was not translating online. So we went together. I guided him through the process of understanding marketing, target market, because he sold his back cover. We all love books. I'm a bookaholic. Okay. So I go in the bookstore, I'm like, yes, yes, this
Same
is
here.
my crack den. Barnes and Noble, oh, I could stay there all day. So my role was to go in and guide him through the process of learning how to create a back cover that would attract an online viewer, right? So he's not there to explain the book. So the back cover had to be redesigned, repurposed, and relaunched. And we relaunched his books online, and they started flying. They started selling, and I helped him do video posts regarding the different chapters in the book, explaining it, and it just took off. It took off, and it was so exciting. So, but I had to help him understand the target market, his target market, because he felt that he could just sell the book to everybody. And I'm like, no, you cannot. You have to understand there's a specific person that you were writing this book for. Who is it? Let's discuss. And we really broke it down. And as a result of that, it opened up the funnels. I mean, it just took off. And he's just absolutely delighted. He didn't know he could make that much money on Amazon.
Awesome. Awesome. Fantastic. Speaking of books, kind of, there a specific marketing book or business book that has been helpful in your journey as an entrepreneur and business owner?
Right. Right now, I am in the throes branding story by Donald Miller.
I
And
think somebody else mentioned that book here recently too, but
oh my God, listen, let me tell you, this particular book is very helpful because, see, I'm a very detailed person, but not everybody is. So I had to understand that my audience doesn't want to hear a whole bunch of stuff. They just get to the point, get to the story. And as a result of that this book has helped me just really get the real succinct points. How can I identify my client as a hero? Because they are, because let's face it, they're offering a service that's going to help or support another person or business. Right. In doing that, my role as the guide is to help them in that process discover their role and to succeed. Very simple.
very cool. Yeah. So that's kind of what that book teaches. Great. Kind of moving on a little bit, like as far as podcasts, are there any podcasts that kind of stand out that have been helpful to you or that you listen to on a regular basis at all?
Yes. One particular, I'm always on YouTube. This is one of my things. I got rid of cable maybe 10 years ago. So if it doesn't come across YouTube, it's just not happening, baby. So for me, Adam Eckhart is one of my faves in terms of marketing and anything new online. I love him. There is a gentleman or a team, and it's called Team Rondi, and it's Ron and Deanna. And together they talk about all things graphics or Canva. Canva is one of my favorite social media tools that I use to create graphics, posters, flyers. Because here's the other thing. Everything is not 100% social media. There's times you got to print things out. Create a flyer, postcard, send it out to somebody, hard copy. And also two books. Not too many people know that you can actually create a picture book on Canva, which is super cool. And I've done that for clients. And you may say, well, why would they want that? Well, one of my clients is a doctor. She wanted a baby book for her daughter. And so we pulled that together. She gave me all the photos and we came up with some really cool captions, and she gave it to her daughter for her um, her granddaughter's first birthday.
Very cool. Very cool. So yeah, it looks like kind of the podcasts that you kind of pay attention to are on YouTube, are kind of video there.
Mhm.
Is there another resource, or is what would you say is the most helpful resource or tool that you've used in your business there? And it can be Canva if it is.
Right now, this is going to sound really generic, but Chat GPT.
Oh, okay. Yeah, AI for sure. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yes, yes. Okay, so now I'm super geeky. It doesn't look like it, but I am. And so what happened for me, do you remember, well, do you remember, you might, Star Trek, the
A little bit,
movie, the TV show, right? Okay.
maybe.
So what's really kind of cool is that AI is like really Star Trek for me, so it's like computer, analyze this, da 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 da, da, right? So
And
for
it does.
me, I'm having a ball. I am having a total ball with AI. I use other tools. Oh, I'll tell you something that's really cool that happened to me today. I'm on Facebook, and all of a sudden the AI tool pops in. And it's asking, saying, hey, I'll respond to this post, to this video. Like, I'm like, say what? And so I said, sure, go ahead. And it was just a little bit too much. So I took it out.
Okay.
You know, here's the thing. AI is not the end all be all for thinking and strategizing. It is just a tool, just like the folks used on Star Trek. And, because here's the thing, it's going to help you collect information that you can use, not take over what you think or say. That's crazy. You use it as a tool. And that is a key message, because there's so many people that are demonizing it. And I hate to tell you folks, but we've been using it for years and just didn't know it. What do you think GPS is? Okay. What do you think Siri is? And, it's being upgraded. Oh, I shouldn't have said that too loud, because it'll start talking to me in a minute. Um, and, so it's so many different. Now, here, let me say this. We're still in the early stages of Chat GPT, right? There are other tools. It's too early to pick the winner right now. So many people are out there creating
I
tools. Matter of fact, I just got a request saying, "Hey, we got AI, and you can just kind of white label AI," and I was like, "Yeah, that's okay."
yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think AI is kind of the future. It's like either kind of you kind of adapt and use it, or you kind of ignore and you get passed by there a little bit. It's kind of like maybe when computers were first coming out here, or even robots to a certain degree, people were like, oh no, this like computer is going to take my job. It kind of did in some cases, but it also kind of changed and created other jobs there as well. So hopefully
Oh, it did.
that'll be the case for AI as well. But yeah, so two more questions for you there. Like, what would you say is kind of the most impactful piece of advice that you can give to somebody who's kind of looking to improve their social media or get into social media a little bit more? Like, is there any advice you have?
Oh, yes, yes. Have a strategy. Start with a strategy. Some people can say, oh, yeah, TikTok, do that. Instagram, X, Twitter. Oh, I'm still getting over that. Listen, have a strategy. Talk with a professional that can really help you build a plan, because there's nothing worse than you start doing something and then boom, you stop. Avoid the streaking violet syndrome in social media. You want to make sure your brand is out there and it's consistent, and that you're giving a clear message of who you are, what you do, and how you help them. And these are very key components in social media. And here's when you have a professional that really understands social media, they're going to make sure you're covered all the way around. And what I mean by that is that you should make it easy for people to find you. And so a great case in point, churches. You know how hard it is to find a church when you move into a new area?
Yeah.
You know, you're driving down the street, you see, oh, there's a church, there's a church, there's a church. You go online, you don't find them because they oh no, it's all community based. But here's what happened. When the pandemic hit and the community dispersed, it's really hard to get them back unless you're doing stuff online. And so the information has to be put in there correctly. Just real simple stuff. Your address, your website, if you have it, phone number, if there's going to be somebody mending the phones, so they can reach out and find you. Make it simple. Make it very simple. Have the data filled in correctly and update it as, you know, as you are moving and shaking, or, you know, hours of service, those kind of things. It surprised me, and it's one of my pet peeves because I recently moved to North Carolina from Connecticut. And so, you know, finding a church was like, I see the buildings, but I can't find them online, you know, like that. I mean, it's not like you got to be TD Jakes or anything like that. I'm not asking you to do that. What I am asking you to do is to make sure that you're listed. That's it. Very clear. And a lot of people think that because they have a community of believers that that's enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. In today's society, we look online. You meet somebody, you're like, oh wow, they're really cool. You write, and then you're like, okay, let's
let's make sure they're okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if they are who they say they are. You know,
exactly.
And so, whether you are a business owner, leader, creative, make sure that you exist online. And it doesn't have to be a lot. I'm not asking you to put your whole life story out there, but I am asking you to make it easy for people to find you and to connect with you. That is the purpose of social media. It's meant to be social. That's the first word.
Absolutely. Well, last question for you there, D. Boone. How can people get a hold of you or learn a little bit more about you?
Oh, that's the fun part. Hey, I like this. Okay, so you can find me on my website at dboone.info. That's D-E, only one E, BOONE.info. And if you go to my website, click on the link to schedule a strategy session with me. Like I said, start with a strategy and build your brand. You know, create awareness about who you are, what you do, and how you help people. So I'm delighted for this opportunity. And also, if you let me know that you learned about me from Daryl, you know, we're going to have a nice little incentive with that. So a little discount, Daryl, you know.
Okay.
So just for viewers, don't tell nobody. Just your viewers. Okay?
All right. Okay. All right. Well, D. Boone, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. God bless. I appreciate you.